Are you frustrated with the fact that your energy bill just keeps going up? Ever wonder how you can harness the power of the sun to help lower those energy rates? If that is the case, most likely you may have been researching how to get solar and you may be looking at Tesla Solar. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about getting Tesla Solar. We'll cover everything from the initial research phase to final installation, permits, and what to expect along the way. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is your thing. Before we jump in on how to get solar, one of the things we need to make sure is that if solar is a good option for you. When getting solar, there are several factors to consider. I'm not going to list them all, but here are some of the things that I consider before making my purchase. Of course, I wanted to be able to reduce my carbon footprint, lower my energy bill, increase my property value, have a system that was easy to use and maintain, and I wanted the ability to have battery backup. Okay, so at this point, everybody's aware of how getting solar is going to help out the environment. Not going to cover that. What I am going to cover is the trend that most utility companies continue to increase the cost of energy over time. By purchasing solar, that allows me to level out the playing field a little bit and helps keep my energy costs more predictable. If you're like me and live in an area with a lot of growth, you may be seeing an increased demand on the overall electrical system, aka the grid. With an increased demand on the grid, there's more of a chance for a power outage. We don't get them often here, but when we do get them, they can be quite lengthy, sometimes hours, and then there's some areas where there's days before power is restored. I wanted a system that was capable of giving me peace of mind that my house could continue to function in the event of one of these larger power outages. So you may have clicked on this video because you're doing research and you're trying to figure out if solar is going to be a good investment for you and what is your return on investment going to look like. I honestly didn't let this factor into my decision too much, but I'm going to explain that in a little bit later. You know the reasons why I picked solar. So if you're thinking kind of along those same lines and you're convinced solar is right for you, let's discuss the process of now getting solar. I mentioned it earlier, for simplicity reasons, I elected to go with Tesla for my solar. Reasons why: one, I already have a car with them. Two, I really wanted a solution that was pretty much turnkey. The other reason is where I live, a lot of the other solar companies actually buy a lot of their components like the Powerwalls from Tesla, and then they just mark them up. So for me, I figured I'd just cut out the middleman, get the best price, and go straight to Tesla for my solar needs. Okay, there is one more thing. I'm not gonna lie, I really like how Tesla products look. And when you're spending that much for a system, it's important, to me at least, that it, one, looks good, and also, because I'm already a Tesla owner, there's one less app. Everything is already integrated into the Tesla app, so I can monitor the vehicle as well as I can look and see what my home is doing, all from one location. Okay, now that we've decided solar is for you and you know you want to get Tesla solar, the next steps are to head over to Tesla's website. Okay, from the website, you're going to click energy, and in my case, panels, but if you are interested in the solar roof, that is an option for you as well. But let's pick the solar panels. One of the things that's nice is if you're not quite ready to jump in and place an order, you can just schedule a consultation with somebody from Tesla. They'll set up a call, they'll kind of talk through why you may or may not want solar, and they'll just overall try to see if solar's a good fit for you. Tons of great resources right here on the website. I think they do a pretty good job explaining how things are. There's a lot of good information right here on Tesla's website, so highly advise that you kind of hunt around in here and do as much research as you possibly can before making such a large purchase. All right, so whether you've scheduled a consultation and come back, or if you're ready to go now, big thing here is just click the order now button. Again, process is going to be very similar if you decide that you want a solar roof. Let's just pick panels for the sake of picking panels. You're going to get a message here that Tesla would like to use your location. That's up to you whether you want them to do that or not. I'm going to say don't allow. So now again, over here, you're going to see an option for 3 different things, right? So you can elect to either get just the Powerwall. So that means your home is still going to be attached to the grid. You're just going to be using Powerwalls strictly for battery backup. So that is one option. Then the other 2 options that you have are solar panels with the Powerwall and solar roof with the Powerwall. It's not explicitly shown here, but in the event that you wanted just the panels or the roof without the Powerwalls, there is a way to do that For now, you have to select it, but once you go into the actual configuration, there's going to be an area where you pick how many Powerwalls you want from your system. At that point, you can go from Tesla's recommended value to essentially 0. But for now, what we're going to do is we are going to say, hey, we want the solar panels. We're going to pop in our address here. At this point in time, they're going to ask you the average price for 1 month of your electric bill. This kind of gives them a best guesstimate for what your current consumption is to better figure out what system might work best for you. So we're going to pop in that value, click next. So from here, it's going to give you roughly how many homes in your area also have solar. Tesla, I don't know why they do this, but they default to the price of your system, including potential incentives. So what I like to do is just click the purchase price, so that way you know exactly how much the system overall is going to cost. And what they're going to do is they give you an estimate that, based off of what we popped up previously for our power bill as well as our home, it has an estimate for how much solar we're going to need for our current needs, as well as it gives you an option to meet future needs and just estimating it, how much solar you would need in order to do that. So in my opinion, it always makes sense, if you can afford it, to make sure you protect yourself for what you're going to need in the future, not just what you currently need right now. So let's hit the future need, and here you're going to see it's going to ask you a couple different options here. So it's going to ask you if you want to have some electric vehicles, if you're going to have any additions to your home, if you're going to have a pool, or in the event that you're going to be increasing the members of your family. So let's just say we want 2 electric vehicles, and then we're not going to increase anything else. So at this point in time, I don't know if you noticed that, but we did get an adjustment that based off of the address that I popped in and roughly how much of square footage that the roof is, that it's estimating at this moment. It's saying that for the future need, this is essentially the largest system that Tesla can recommend. Scrolling down here to here's where we now have home backup. This is what I was explaining earlier, where even though it says that you're getting solar with Powerwalls, in the event that you didn't want any, you can pick 0 here. Well, let's just move forward with Tesla recommended for the size of this system. I didn't go with 4 Powerwalls, I only went with 2, but we're just pricing this out just so you get a good idea of what this looks like. So at that point, you're going to continue to order system. All right, so now what you're gonna get some information as far as your order. So nothing here is set in stone. At this point, this is kind of like your worst case scenario, and I'm going to explain that in a little bit. But based off of the information that we've put in so far, just the solar panels are $56,000. The 4 Powerwalls are roughly $42,000. And then here are some discounts that we get for getting the solar and the Powerwall together, as well as a discount for the size of the overall system. This is assuming that we're going to get the federal tax credits of 30%. At the end of the day, this is how much this system is going to price out at. It would be roughly $60,000. Might as well say $61,000. If you wanted to go ahead and finance that system, there are several different options for that. Here, you would just play around with your terms as far as how much you want to put down for a down payment. You have 2 options for a 10 or 15-year loan. Currently, at the time of this recording, Tesla's running a promotion, so the APR for solar through them is 3.99%. But again, these are all things that will fluctuate. You plug in your numbers. After that, it'll give you an estimate for how much your payment will be. Click off of that, and at this point in time, you would then proceed to pay your deposit to get Tesla Solar. The deposit is only $100. So you would put that in, you would pay for that rather, either Apple Pay or with your card. If you don't have a Tesla account, it's going to ask you to create one, but we would just go ahead and order it, put in our details here for the credit card, our name, all that fun stuff, pay the $100. In the case of solar, this is refundable.